All right, guys, what's going on, man? It's me, H Boy the Man, and I got the one and only Barrett Scudder on the Craz Box Radio 93.5. How you
What
doing, man?
what's up, man? Thanks for having me.
Heck yeah, man. I'm glad, man. Hey, man. It's an honor, man. Shoot, tell me something about yourself, man. Give me a little breakdown on who's Barrett Scudder, man.
And well, just to start out, I'm from Spokane, Washington, and I do songwriting and a little bit of vocals, do it all, man.
Shoot, there you have it, man. You know what I mean? Uh, but yeah, man, what's your personal backstory, man? How's it affected the way you craft your music, man, in today's scene?
Honestly, I started off with something completely different. I started off with athletics, like soccer. Soccer was my thing, and then it just led to music after soccer, man. After I was done with soccer, I was like, I need something a little less physical and just something where I could just kick my feet back and have fun with it. And music was kind of like my outlet to do so. So it was pretty much the um perfect exchange, man.
And you said you were doing soccer, man. You know what I mean? Were you doing soccer professionally, or were you just playing around?
Yeah, I was playing academy overseas in the UK. Grew up playing club soccer um, for the state team too. Played for
Wow.
clubs out in Northern England, and yeah, man.
Shoot, man. Wow, man. That's amazing. See that? You hear that, guys? You don't really hear that very often, man. We got a professional soccer player and songwriter in here, man. You know, and especially with the World Cup going on. You know what I'm saying? Mexico versus England today. I can't wait to see that, right? That's good.
Exactly. Who you got money on?
Shoot,
Either.
man. Both of them are great teams, man. I'd say, shoot, man. I want Mexico's undefeated, but I just feel like it's a little. They're not the unbreakable wall that I want them to be. You know what I mean? I feel like they could still be broken by strong teams like England, your team. So
It'll be a tough one. Be a tough one, but it's a good matchup though.
yeah. But yeah, man. But shoot, uh, what began like to like how? When did you get inspired to have a love for your craft, man? Like, what sparked your desire initially as an artist?
You know what? I always grew up to just being uh, like a listener and always loved dabbling in different genres and I'd warm up to it, train with music in the background and things like that. And it just kind of always had my attention, and something I was always fond of, but it's something I didn't really imagine myself doing. I mean, fun fact, I actually was in um, choir when I was younger at a Catholic school, and so I actually grew up singing. And then obviously when I just like went through puberty, I had a big voice change and then I just shifted my attention to just solely soccer and athletics. But like I said, I've always been a listener, avid listener of all genres of music, and that's kind of literally what inspired me is I wanted to make what I listen to. You know what I mean? I wanted to try it, give it a go.
Shoot, man, you look like you got great success in that, man. Hey, proud of you, man. I've seen your come up.
And I appreciate that. That means a lot because it definitely hasn't been easy, and I definitely feel like I haven't, you know, completely hit my potential as a musician. I have a lot to improve on. But
Don't we all, man?
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, we all do. But yeah, I really do. And I still plan on improving and getting better at the craft. But
Yeah, man. I
it's
used
definitely
to, and my bad. What do you use to record your music, man? Like, do you use any like specific program? Is there a special program or a favorite program or DAW that you would like to use when you
a
record?
good question. Funny because when it sounds good, it's pretty much through my engineer, Gail, who uses Pro Tools as one of the main uh, like softwares that we record on. And but when it's me and I'm tracking references, I'm tracking on something simple like Logic and BandLab. I could never achieve like that clean clarity sound um that's that you hear. That's usually thanks to Gil, you know what I mean?
Shoot, shout
But
out
yeah,
him, man.
yeah, exactly. Big shout out to him. It's a blessing to have him not only as a friend but as an engineer as well. He definitely took me to that next level of having that industry sound, you know?
That's awesome, man. And speaking of industry level and connections, I was gonna ask, are you currently under a label, management, or partnership agreement at this current moment?
Actually, I'm just currently doing my own thing and having fun with it and enjoying myself and just making music. And yeah, I've been blessed to to just be able to release and record music as I please and as I want, and I'm enjoying it, you know.
That's fantastic, man. Are you currently involved, like in behind the scenes of the industry or any form of industrial scene? And how did you meet these people in and out or before music?
Um, just it's just through networking, you know. A lot of this stuff is just like who you know and um, a little bit by chance too, a little bit by luck. But yeah, pretty much you meet one person and they open up a door to another opportunity or another person. And yeah, I haven't, when I first got into this stuff, I was heavily influenced by the scene or the atmosphere of like who you know and things like that. But just as I gotten older, I've matured and have my own family now. I just been focused on what matters the most, you know, and still doing what I love doing without focusing on the perception part of things, you know.
Man, shout out to you and your fam, man. That's always important, man. And I'm glad you're still doing your thing. Uh,
Appreciate that.
have you ever performed live by any chance?
Yeah, I actually have. I've performed a couple times in downtown Long Beach. Um, Opened up for um, some some great artists, old heads, but great artists. And and yeah, I've, actually I've performed a few times, and then another time in at a club in LA.
A club in LA.
So yeah, I definitely
That's
yeah.
pretty cool,
So
man.
I believe it's called Catch. Yeah, it's called Catch. Shout out to shout out to that bro, man.
That's pretty cool, man. How big would you say your fan base is at this present moment? And what extra steps do you have in plan to grow that fan base?
That's a great question. Honestly, it's not big at all. Not even close to where I'd like it to be. However, I just make music for solely for the sole purpose of my own enjoyment, and anybody else that enjoys it or wants to have a listen most definitely can. And I appreciate anybody who definitely gives it a listen and enjoys it, or even just gives it a listen and doesn't enjoy it. I appreciate it. But yeah, so definitely, um, to be honest with you, I'm not too focused on growing a fan base. I would like to grow a fan base organically, but at this point of my life, it's not necessarily a priority. But yeah, I enjoy and, and I appreciate anybody who has a listen though.
With your sound, I know you'll blow up, man. I know you're the type. You're not doing it for the clout. You're doing it. You're being an artist whether people see you or not, and that's what a real artist does, man. Not like all these other cats out here that are just doing it to be something that they're not.
Absolutely, man. I really appreciate that perspective because um, you know, some people do it for the wrong reasons, and that's entirely up to them. But I kind of like to move with the sole intention of just doing it for the love of music. You know what I mean?
100%, man. Where do you see yourself going with your career? Maybe around a year or so.
Um, Honestly, there's no telling for me. Um, I could either stay stagnant where I'm at, or I could either progress. It just all depends on how much time and effort I spend moving forward into this craft. And I just not entirely sure how much time I have to spare um, continuing making music consistently like I have been in the past. But um, yeah, there's no telling, man. We'll see.
Any part of your creative works that you yourself don't contribute to, like maybe like your album covers or your lyrics, or is it all done by yourself, solo dolo?
Honestly, the majority of my catalog has been by myself. However, I have used writers in the past and collaborated, and yeah, and I enjoy doing both. Truthfully, I have no preference. As long as it's good, it's good.
As long as your end goal was met and it creates what you want to create, then that's all that matters. As long as what's inside of you is able to be brought out, whether by yourself or even with a little bit of assistance, the end goal should be to always just reach from A to B, no matter what.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's you hit it. That's exactly as long as we achieve what we want out of the session. I don't mind how we get there, whether that's you know me solo or me and others like collaborating. Either way works out for me.
Do you have a lot in store for your fans or supporters that is currently exclusive or private? And how has the internet influenced your work and you as an artist with the rise of technology these past 20 years?
Man, that's a great question. Yeah, definitely the internet has inspired my sound, especially at the beginning. Although I'll say that now I'm at the point where I just don't care as much. And so I just make whatever I feel like making. Um, and I try to be as versatile as possible and not just married to one sound. Because, like I said, I like listening to different genres of music, so I like making different genres of music. And so I don't let the internet influence um, or give me or dictate what direction I'm going with my music because I just like to make what I personally like. And I think that if you let the internet dictate what type of music you make, it's not as authentic. And yeah, it doesn't come as natural.
When was the first time you released a song or album? Or what was your like debut in this music scene?
I released my first song in, I think, late 2021 when I had first moved out to Southern California. It was dog shit. Um,
No,
I could
we're
swear.
all guilty of that. I'm guilty of that, trust me.
Yeah, it happens, man. We all have to start somewhere. And yeah, that was probably the first song was called Running Circles. It was super fun to make. Made it with a good friend of mine too, which I'm grateful for.
Do you look back at any of your songs or your previous works or releases that you look and you're like, oh, I would like to remaster that or improve upon it in the future?
Yeah, that's so true. I um I do that all the time. I'm always taking things down and people will message me and say, "Why did you take that down? Where did this song go?" but it's because I just will hear things, um, you know, as a listener that I want to change or I feel like I could do better. So I actually tend to do that quite often. It's a blessing and a curse because obviously, you know, you could always improve. Like you're never gonna master perfection on a record for the most part. Um, but if there's things that it bothers you every time you listen to it, then I
It's gonna
have
get to
to.
you. It's definitely gonna get to you. I believe as
Yeah.
artists and engineers, especially engineers, I believe we're all guilty of being perfectionists a little bit, right? But I believe that we wouldn't have the great standard we have today, and we wouldn't be able to make the great quality of works that we have today, movies, music, art, and whatnot. If it wasn't for a little bit of that perfectionism trait that we all have as artists, engineers, and whatnot.
So true. So true. Exactly. Exactly. It's like I said, it's a blessing and it's a curse. You're trying to make the best record, that you could make. So you're trying to, you know, assist that record to reach its potential. So you're always trying to improve it. And however, there's just a time where you just gotta, just release it and not look back and let the listeners enjoy it, you know.
You have any hidden talents that maybe aside from making music or songwriting that may be able to assist you in your craft? Like, you have any like other hidden abilities or talents that may assist you in this journey?
Honestly, um, I wouldn't consider this a talent, but something that
Like a skill?
I strongly to improve on is my faith and just having faith in God that everything's gonna work out regardless of what happens or how many failures I, you know, I come across. I just been really working on my faith and yeah, that's what's really got me through it and got me this far.
Hey, glory to God, man. I think that takes a lot in a person to you know what I mean? I think that's a very admirable trait to have. I think that's really above and beyond, man. You don't really, I don't really hear a lot, especially nowadays, where somebody will come up and say, "Well, I just have faith in God while I'm doing this." I think that's 1,000,000%. You really got it with that one, man. That's awesome.
I really
Uh,
appreciate that. It means a lot. But
of course, man.
a lot of people just don't want to say it. They just shine away from it because there's um they're afraid that they're gonna lose a certain part of their fan base or they're gonna miss out on certain opportunities. But for me, that's the beauty of of being an upcoming artist or not giving a damn what people think is like you you really say what you feel and you do what you want to do. You know what I mean? And
There's nothing
you
better than to
come
be your true, authentic self, man. Don't let nobody, anybody listening to this, don't let anybody ever take that from you or make you feel like it's wrong. It's okay to be your authentic self, and you don't have to do anything for clout or opportunities. If you have God on your side or whatever you believe in, you should feel comfortable with that. And whatever is meant for you is meant for you. And don't let anybody else ever make you feel otherwise. So,
exact.
uh,
Well said. Well said. I agree.
you got any songs on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, what have you?
Uh, I actually have a handful of music currently up on throughout all platforms. Um, I would say that's some of my better work that I've left up there, and I do plan on continuing to upload unreleased music that I'm still yet to finish and finalize. But as of right now, I do have a small handful of music up right now that I could say that I'm relatively proud of, and yeah.
What's your main distributor, man? You use like DistroKid, TuneCore, CD Baby. What's going on with that?
I use DistroKid. I've always used it from the jump, and I like it. It's really user friendly.
I feel like
I
DistroKid is. I feel like DistroKid has opened the door a lot for aspiring indie artists.
oh yeah, for sure. It's a good platform.
What are the big? Do you have any credit, or what are the biggest people you have worked with in this music industry that we'd like to share with us?
Um, I got something better. I got something I want to reroute you with that. I I could go on and talk about credits, but I just want to share a little disclaimer that I've never shared before, and it's my favorite music that I've ever made is with not known artists or known producers or any of that. It's just with friends that I've genuinely like and connected well with, and those those are really my favorite music and my favorite sessions that I've ever worked on. So honestly, I would say my friends that, that have hidden talent that I've worked with has been my most notable. I say that.
Okay, 100%, man. I'm glad you feel that way, man. I was gonna say, uh, is there anyone in specific that has meant to you a lot in your music career? Since you bring up friends, like family, artists, favorite rappers, or anybody in general in your life, maybe even a childhood friend that uh has helped you and inspired you that you would like to shout out right now in this music?
Yeah, I've had a an ex-friend that was actually my soccer trainer, and he's been an inspiration. He went Hollywood, but he's been an inspiration, um, talent wise of, showing me that you could go, you could transition from one thing to the next and still be successful as long as you, give it your all, and you know, you're you're making what you really enjoy making. He's part of a group that's called Friendship, and I could say he's been inspiration, to me on the music side, and also artists that are very talented and versatile, like Tory Lanez. Everybody that knows me knows that I'm a big fan, um, of his catalog, and I have anybody that I've collaborated with, that's an upcoming artist, um, with released music that's out right now is been an inspiration to me. If you're listening to this, I'll go have a listen. There's a they're all inspirations to me and inspire me to continue making music and collaborating. So
Is there anything you want to say to make those heard to those who listen to you, like a special message? And are there any other additional shout outs you would like to mention?
absolutely. My message to anyone watching is to just, always look forward, never look back, just continue making progression, even if it's small progression. It's the little ones that count, and value what's most important, and that's truthfully God, family, friends, the people that mean the most in life, not the people that you come across on the internet, things like that. That's not real life. Those people won't care about you like the ones closest to you. So always value the ones that are closest to you. Always.
And going back to something that
That's
I found, going back to something that I found really interesting, man. I know you said you moved all the way down from Washington to Southern California, like around maybe like. So would you say you're closer to the San Diego or LA area, man? I know you mentioned Long Beach. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I more more so closer to specifically I moved from Hermosa Beach to La Mita and then to near Redondo Beach.
Oh,
Um,
okay. I know where that's at. So you're basically by LA, man. And as a artist being around, especially that type of scene in LA, uh, are you around like how do you feel about like the industrial scene in like LA? Because I know that's one of the biggest industrial scenes for artists in the world. Uh, LA, Atlanta, New York, all these places, man. How do you feel, basically in a nutshell, how do you feel about Hollywood scene out there and or just
hon- honestly, people might say, "Oh yeah, you're just hating from outside the club." Not true. I'm sure it looks fun. Don't get me wrong. I bet some of those opportunities that these people within the industry get are amazing and they're cool events and whatnot, and that's a blessing, and I'm happy for them. However, I I don't I'm not missing out on that lifestyle that some of these people individuals live. Um, I'm glad I'm I guess out on the outskirts of LA. Um, but yeah, I think the stuff that's coming out is despicable, and I feel like it's that I think it's stuff that caught us all by surprise. Or I mean, it was things that we thought from the outside were just theories, yet it's been proven time and time again that these things really do happen. These horrendous things like um just unethical and yeah, they happen. They happen in the industry, and so it's I'm grateful where I'm at on the outside, and
USA?
I'll stay going.
We would all have to unionize, huh? We would all have to
Yeah,
unionize and take all this unprofessionalism down, man. It's 2026, man, and there, and you would think that there'd be better standards and structures in place to prevent the exploitation of hardworking artists such as and songwriters such as yourself and everybody else in this industry. I think we all deserve better.
absolutely.
I think I speak for everyone when we say we deserve better.
Yeah, yeah, no. Well said. I agree. It's it's easy to be taken advantage of in this industry because you know when you're upcoming, you're really reliant on any help you could get. So it's just all about finding a good support system to navigate your way, I guess, around the industry, and a few artists have been successful doing it. It's really difficult, I hear, but there's artists out there that are true to themselves and their morals and beliefs and somehow, thank God, have found success regardless.
But, sorry, give me a second. I'm just drinking some water right now. Where can they find you on social media, by the way?
So you can find me on all socials pretty much by just my first name, Barrett. That's Barrett, and then Scudder, Scudder.
There you guys have it, man. And I'm about to wrap this up shortly since we're running out of time. But Barrett, thank you so much for coming to the Craze Box 93.5 radio. I want to ask you, you got any new drops coming along that we should be excited for?
Yeah, I do. I have a lot of stuff that I'm sitting on. I'm just currently dropping randomly, so you just gotta stay on the lookout and have a listen to all the stuff that I have out, and just there'll be surprises along the way.
There you guys have it, man. Is
So
there any last words or any final messages or anything that you would like to communicate to the public of the Craze Box before we leave?
I wanna I wanna thank you for having me on your platform, dude. When I like I said, you're a nice person, good dude, um, very wholesome, and the conversation's always nice to have. So yeah, man, thank you again for having me and calling me up on your platform.
Oh, of course,
Appreciate it.
Barrett, man. You know, for shining artists like yourself, rising artists like yourself, I'm always here, man. And you know, I appreciate it. I know I'm not perfect, but you know, we all try, and we just, you know, we just take it a day at a time, man. But with that being said, everybody, thank you for tuning into the Craze Box 93.5. My name is H Boy the Man. We have the one and only Barrett Scudder in the building, man, and we appreciate y'all. Just stay tuned, and yeah, catch y'all on the next one.
That's it. Thank you.